Howdy, folks. What's going on this late night evening? Do a little after hours reloading chat. See if we can get a few people in here. Hey, Jerry Parker.
What's up, Jerry
Parker.
Parker?
What is going on? I'm having a little trouble seeing the screen, but blind as a bat. What are
Eagle
you
runs here.
guys? Oh, hey, Eagle.
Mhm.
What's going
What's up,
on, brother? You popping some bright? You pulling on a handle or
HIPAA
Hippa's here? Yeah, all
67 Rebel?
right.
I started to go to bed. I was whooped, and I said I'd get on here a minute.
I told AR he had to get on here and test out his new mic system, and it's a good thing he did because he has a little crackling he hears that he wasn't hearing before.
Yep, I want to take it and send it back, get another one, or try to get the same one. They, if they can,
I
I'll say just send me a new one. You know.
I would ask him. I would talk to him
Mm-hmm.
and see what they
Mm-hmm.
recommend. You
These are
know.
known to go. This model, they do have issues sometimes. That's
Oh
according to my
yeah.
research. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they can just kind of crap out on you because they're not really what, like I said, they're not high dollar interfaces. So,
They're not studio grade.
right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're talking about 30 odd six tonight, gentlemen. And I know that we have a gentleman, Zach, should be joining in and checking out the show. He's actually, I think he's doing some resizing of brass on some 30 odd six. And AR, he's got a 30 odd six. Um, It was probably what is it? Like probably mid 70s.
The rifle, I think I bought it in 2005.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That was that new.
and it's still good. They were still making them fairly good at that point,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently.
So
I don't.
yeah, so it's like a dangerous game gun. So it's got sights on it. It's a bolt action 700 series, right? It's like a 712 or something like that.
It's a 700 ADL. No.
ADL.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a BDL or a CDL.
BDL was one. ADL was really popular in the 80s and 90s, and then they had the BDL, and then they come out with the newer CDL somewhere in I think in the late 90s. I can't remember what year, but sometime around time frame they come out with that CDL. I remember when it hit the shelves years ago. I always loved the BDL though. Boy, that was always a nice gun. It was in every gun magazine back in the 80s, mid 80s. Every
Oh
gun
yeah,
magazine, everybody had it
yeah.
in their arm or their hand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if carrying a Remington 700 or a Weatherby of some type, you just weren't carrying, and unless you had like a custom built rifle. But for most people, an off the shelf gun, and most Weatherbys are pretty custom.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you get one of the limited production model rifles, they're very pricey as well. Um,
I hope
so you,
Remington gets back in the ball game and produces some good quality stuff in the
oh, I
future.
hope they tune up their action from the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It really, I mean, I've seen some stuff come off of their production line that was less than stellar. Let's say that, and leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got a few in here. Reloader
Okay, yeah.
762, Quest for the Perfect Load. He says he's here. That's a good
Hey,
rifle.
brother. So
Hey,
how's that brass going that you're doing?
Eagle's sitting out drinking rum by the fire pit. Him and his wife.
Oh, look at that. That's nice, dude. Little relaxation. He's been doing double duty, working plus coaching the basketball team, I believe. And so he's been doing the grind.
I don't want to say what for, but I appreciate what you did, Eagle.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna do a review. I have to
Mhm.
figure out how I want to prepare this coffee. My wife wants me to spend like $178 on a cappuccino machine, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to spend that much money. I'm cheap. I'm sorry. I mean, I see $178, and I'm looking at that
Mhm.
could buy me almost that's two boxes of that's 2,000 primers. I'm
It's also a almost a kneeling machine, not far from
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh, and let me tell you about the annealing machine, gentlemen. Let me tell you the good news. Well, actually, it's kind of fucked up, and you shouldn't use the language.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I dropped the F bomb. I'm sorry. Hope but it's after hours. That's why would let it slip. Usually,
No
professional
problem.
time is during the daytime, and usually there's no kids sitting around with their parents this late. So, but here's the thing. I my buddy and the guy who welded my bench, he's a third generation welder. He basically is welded the Skyway Bridge in Tampa. I
Mhm.
don't know if you guys remember back in the 80s, the Skyway was hit by a huge, like, some type of cargo ship, and it made a bunch of cars fall like almost 200 feet to their death inside their automobiles because it knocked the bridge apart where the lanes came down in the water. And so they got a whole new one. So basically, what I was getting at though was he did some of the welding repair on that bridge when that accident happened to get some people off safely. They had to cut some of it that was causing stress and could make the bridge collapse. They had to cut it away, and he did it with a big thing called, I believe it's called a blast axe. It's a torch that it looks like a giant axe, and it shoots flames out about 7 feet from it. And they use it for
Mhm.
cutting a heavy commercial steel, hardened steel. And he was
Mhm.
cutting the what they call on these bridges. It's a plate that goes over where all the metal studs all come to an area. It's like a joist plate, and basically had to cut all that loose and let it
Mm.
fall, and so that they could get the cars off of there without it being destabilized. But yeah, so he basically built my I told him what I wanted. Me and him both came up with some ideas, and we were over at his welding shop, and we built my bench. And basically it's
Mhm.
four pieces of quarter inch, 90-degree L pieces, and basically it's four um, four what is this 2-inch tubing, that's square tubing, and at the bottom of them he put adjustment, so you can adjust the height, stainless steel adjustment feet. This guy does
Mhm.
good stuff. And then we put birch plywood on top of the sheet metal that he bent on 90 degrees with his tool that bends metal. I don't know
Mhm.
what they're called, a brake, I think. And
Oh, yeah, break.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he
Mhm.
bent the pieces that are across the top, and then we put birch 3/4 inch plywood on top of that to deaden it, and then put 14 gauge stainless steel sheet that he bent custom and put onto the top of
Mhm.
that, and then it's like a high polish.
Right.
And we put a shelving in it. He welded in shelving for it, and then we wedge anchored it to the floor with 2,400-pound wedge anchors. So yeah, it doesn't move, it doesn't rock. You can literally put about 4,000 pounds on it, and it's going to hold it. So
Mhm. Eagle, I don't know what coffee is, but I haven't opened the entire thing yet on mine. I'm hearing that static driving me nuts. So,
what did
sorry
he
about.
ask about the coffee?
Said, did he send beans or ground? I haven't opened the main
Ground.
bag yet.
It's
Probably
ground.
mine. Mine feels ground too. What I
Yeah,
remember. Mhm.
unless it's unless the beans are super smooth. I mean, like slippery. It feels like it's ground. Oh, you sell both. So okay, so that's
Mhm.
cool.
Ram's here. Hippa's here. Drew's
Oh
here.
yeah, we got a nice little
Yeah.
crowd hanging out.
Mhm.
There wasn't a whole lot going on, and if you're out on the West Coast, or if you're even in the mid states, or even if you're on the East Coast, it's Saturday night. There was nothing really going on, I don't think.
No, probably not this day and age.
So yeah, we're talking 30 odd six. So what brass did you have? AR?
I have brass from 2007 on a deer hunting trip, camping out. It was shot out of that gun, and I was telling Echo earlier, when I shoot it, my brass does not grow in that chamber. It literally comes out almost a factory spec, which is kind of strange, but it's apparently a tight chamber.
Well, also it may take more than one firing of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know on brand new brass sometimes that
Mm-hmm.
it won't take the first firing to really get the chamber custom fire formed. It usually takes the second, even sometimes the third, before it really fills up the chamber. And then, like the fourth and fifth round, I fire out of it like that, just neck sizing, is super accurate. And then I have to bump the shoulder, or well, I don't bump the shoulder, but I got to resize the body of the brass.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Uh,
that I've got an annealer coming, I'm hoping that I will have to bump the shoulder because the neck tension will be more uniform due to the annealing of the brass.
have you ordered it yet?
Uh, yes, I actually
Did you?
did this afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow. Yeah, I wished I had it too. I'm gonna wait a little while, pay some of this gear down.
Yeah.
Of course, call Sweetwater tomorrow because I'm still hearing it. I'm still buzzing, but irritating. But yeah, I got 30-06 years ago. I'm gonna load it with 53.3 grains of Varget.
Some baguette. It's
Yeah,
going to be very nice.
and let me see what I got on the bullet. Bullet is Hornady, 30 caliber, 150 grain soft point interlock, number 3031. Pretty good
Yeah,
bullets.
I've got the same one, 30, but I've got 50, I got 150 grain, and I got 165.
Mm-hmm.
And but
Can
I
you tell the
think
difference in this on the cable versus the wired, or have you had time to even notice?
on the cable versus the wire, what are you talking
Well,
about?
I was on Wi-Fi, for weeks or a
Oh,
month. Now I'm on hardwire. What I meant to say.
yeah, it sounds better. It sounds like a fuller signal.
Hmm. Okay.
I know your video will show the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 150, and I've got these are a 30, these are part number. Let me see under here in the light. These
Yeah, I
are
did, Ram.
30, 33.
Hmm.
Yeah, 30, 33. What do you have?
Um, I forgot. 3031.
Yeah, so yeah, then they make a 30, 32 as well. I
Mm-hmm.
bet you. And there must be something to do with that.
Yes, Ram, I did get it running today. They sent another guy out, and it was the router, just the same thing I told Echo it was wrong with it. I tried to get a guy Wednesday to change it. It's just too much trouble, he said, and ignored even my stats numbers I showed him. I said, "This thing's bad." He wouldn't listen. Yeah, so he come here twice Wednesday. The guy came here today, and we replaced it. So it's doing good. I knew it was a router because I tested everything over and over and over in the house. And, so that I'm glad to be back up too. So appreciate it, Drew. See, HIPAA says I gave up on 311s and 310s, loaded brass 76239, went cheaper than just the bullets. Hey, Walter's here.
Hey, Walter, what's going
Hey,
on, brother?
us older guys do stay up late, don't we? Good to see you, Walter.
Walter, would you like a link, sir?
He said, I'm just dropping by to say hi to my friends. Good to
Okay.
see you. Yeah, good to see you too. Always good to see you. Like I said earlier, I was going to go to bed.
I just thought I'd throw something together in case people wanted to hang out and chat for a little bit and visit with each other.
Me
It
too, Walter.
wasn't.
I'm fading. Sorry, Echo. Mm.
Yeah, everybody's starting to drop off, it looks like.
Yeah, Walter said I'm fading fast. That's why I responded to him. I said, yeah, me too. I'm not sleepy. Sometimes I'm up to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, but for some reason this evening I'm just feel sleepy.
You probably haven't drinking, your proper 6 pots of coffee.
Boy, I know everybody's heard this. Wasn't that a tragedy? It happened on that movie set with that liberal libtard.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Boy.
That was horrible. That what happened to him. And
Mm-hmm.
it all could have been prevented had somebody had enough brains to teach a little gun safety and to
Mm-hmm.
have multiple verifications of firearms,
Mm-hmm.
including the cast. If you're
Yeah.
going to be handling a firearm, whether you like them or not, you need to be instructed on how to handle one. I don't care if they're loaded with blanks or for live ammunition. And please
Mm-hmm.
tell me what the hell live ammunition was doing
Mm-hmm.
on a set where
Well,
they were firing
mm,
blanks.
yeah. But even if they were firing stuff, they're not. According to what John Schneider, the actor, says, you're not even supposed to be pointing it at anyone on a set. You point it
No.
at a dummy target.
Yes.
So whatever did happen here, he's also the producer. Alec was, so he's gonna get sued out of his butt, his
Oh yeah,
britches.
yeah. He's gonna
Uh huh.
have some civil suits that are gonna be astronomical. But
Mm-hmm.
he's got insurance just for this. If
Oh yeah.
he yeah, he's all these actors are all insured by Lords of London. So if they accidentally break something or disfigure themselves or hurt someone else by accident in a scene, if they get sued civilly, it's just going to make I mean, it's just something that he's got to live with that would be absolutely horrible to have to live with that, to know that you were stupid and you didn't follow good gun safety and you killed someone because of it.
And
The
actually,
note,
it's no surprise because he's very anti-gun. How would he know safety if he's so anti-gun? Think about that.
well, yeah, but this is nothing to do with him being anti-gun or not. This has
Yeah, I know.
everything.
I agree.
This has everything to do with the film and the prop director and
Yep.
them not having a good enough system to keep shit like this from happening because it's just like anything else. If you've got someone in a scene that's going to run a jet ski and they've never ran a jet ski before, you give them some instruction. You have a professional that runs jet skis, races them or whatever.
Mhm.
Show these people some tricks, how to stop them, that if you turn them off they don't stop. You have to have the gas on and use power for them to turn. and to avoid things. Some of the newer ones have brakes and stuff. There's things that you have to know. Firearms are no different. You have to give some
Mhm.
instruction to
Mhm.
people that don't have any instruction and never held a gun before in their life. And
Mhm.
something, uh, multiple things failed because number one, no live ammunition should have been in in on the set at the time where people are going to be shooting. Second, no one should have ever pointed a firearm at a live person. That's just a big red flag no no. We all learned that like in gun safety and hunter safety class. You never point whether it's loaded or unloaded, you never point a gun at someone or at
Amen, Hippo.
any yeah, or at anything that you do not wish to destroy. And basically, if they would have had some safety um, redundancies and had the actors been trained to handle firearms and to know what a loaded magazine and a blank magazine look like so that they could do the final inspection themselves
Mhm.
to know that the weapon, they've checked it. They know that it's blanks in there. That way there's
Mhm.
no, along with the prop director and then also the prop foreman. So you've got three different sets of hands and eyes all verifying that that
Mhm.
gun is loaded with
Mhm.
the appropriate ammunition, plus
Yeah.
not having live ammunition on the set at the time of that
Mhm.
shoot. So multiple things were violated in
Mhm.
basic handgun or basic firearm safety, and
Yeah,
that's
John
why this.
Snyder covers that, Echo. I actually watched a video on YouTube of him. He did an interview on that.
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
basically they could have. And if you notice, I've been noticing these kind of deaths since I was a child in Hollywood. And what happens is a person like this gets killed, everybody goes, "Oh man, we need to really start being a little better safety minded." And they all tighten up and they all start playing, by the rules. They'll follow it for about 6 to 10 years and then boom, you'll have another one from someone being sloppy and not following safety, gun safety, handling safety rules. And the same thing happens. I watched the same thing with the Bruce Lee son
Yeah.
when he was shot on the Crow, the making of the movie The Crow.
Mhm.
Can't think it was The Crow Part 3 or 4. I don't remember which one, but there was also a TV like a sitcom guy that, well, not sitcom, he did a detective show back in the
Silk
80s.
stockings. Silk stockings
Yes,
in the 80s. He got
yes, silk
yeah.
stockings. He actually shot himself with what he thought was just a blank cartridge, which it was. But anyone that knows firearms knows that a blank cartridge is just missing a bullet. It still has a powder charge in there. Even though
Mhm.
it's less, it's still a powder charge. And that force came out of the end of the barrel and scrambled his brain on the inside. And my mother used
Mhm.
to love that show. She would watch it because she'd be like, "Oh, I'm watching my sexy young guy." That's what she would always say. And it was like it was set up. It was this guy who was supposed to be kind of like a detective, and he did something else. I can't remember, but the his partner was a photographer or something. I can't remember
Mm.
exactly because this was back in the 80s, quite some
Mhm.
time ago. But yeah, he shot and killed himself. And you'll notice like every
Mhm.
6 to 10 years something like this happens, and it's always because of negligence. It's
Well, one thing
never.
we know, Echo, he had to have the barrel pointing at that lady to hit her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most
Mhm, and they
definitely.
say you're not supposed to do that on a Hollywood set, even with a prop gun or a blank gun. And
Yes,
John
you're not.
Schneider talked tonight, this evening. He said, or today, he says that even then, they have a protocol. You fire it in the ground. So he said, Alex Baldwin should have took that gun, fired it in the ground, or checked it right before he even did anything, and made sure there was nothing in there. And going back to what you talked about, that Brandon, they say a piece of something was stuck in the barrel of Brandon Lee on that gun that killed him,
A
and that
squib.
piece,
A
yeah,
squib.
squib, and it
Yeah, it
lodged
was.
and hit him with the force of a bullet.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
because when he fired a squib load that they were firing the gun for like real shooting, they were actually filming Brandon or someone firing the gun, and they had a squib and they didn't know
mhm,
because the actors once again weren't trained to recognize this possible squib, and so the barrel was never checked for obstructions. Then later on, the weapon was loaded for a scene with blanks. And it basically, because the blank charge went out behind uh, a barrel that had a bullet halfway down it, it became a live round in a blank loaded gun and hit him square in the upper torso, killing him
mhm.
almost
Yeah.
instantly.
Mhm. Snyder in his interview says, "I'm pro gun, Second Amendment. I have a handgun in my right now on me now." When he did the interview with Newsmax, I think was who he did the interview with. He's very conservative and pro gun. Snyder is. Bo
Yeah,
Duke.
yeah, it's just the whole thing is that these kind of accidents are horrible and they're tragic. But what makes them even more tragic is that it could have been so easily avoided,
Mm-hmm.
with just a little bit of instruction and a tiny bit of safety and throw in a tad bit of common sense
Mm-hmm.
and following protocol and procedures and having multiple systems where you have a redundancy of checking the firearms, have the actor themselves before they, like when they're loading the magazine, they give okay, three people should be there: the actor that's going to be using the firearm, the prop director, and the prop guy that actually does the work. Like he's like a director, uh, production manager, someone like that. And what they'll do is they'll be the one that load the magazine. So he needs to be there to load the magazine. And as they see those bullets, all three of them verify that all those bullets are blanks and verify that the gun has no obstruction in the barrel that could become dangerous, when a blank's fired behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and that the gun is unloaded of any ammunition. And then it needs to be loaded and verified by all three people. And then the gun gets given to the actor, and it does not leave the actor's hand until the scene is completely done, or it has to be go through all those safety checks again. And yes, it's a pain in the ass. And yes, it slows down shooting time. And yes, it costs money. But if you don't do it, look what happens.
Hey, G23. We got quite a few coming in. G Webs, G23, or who else? Kind
Hey,
of
fellas, what's going on this
hip.
evening? Nice to see everybody. Hey,
Yep. MK,
G23.
MK Joe, Jeff, MOA. Good to see you, Jeff. Appreciate you dropping by. Who else? Drew Bradley. He's in here. Walter, of course. Jerry Parker. I think he was our first one. Well, yeah, he was. Let's try to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah,
What
it's actually
is,
early where Walter's at.
yeah,
Mhm,
oh, it's 3 hours early,
mhm.
I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
See what Walter put in here. One of the things that gets to me is here's a guy that's so anti-gun that you can
Mhm.
smell it. That you can smell. Is am I reading that right?
One of the things that gets me, he's so anti-gun that you can smell it. Yet he's perfectly willing to take moviegoers' money from a film about a gunslinger. Yep, absolutely right. They don't care.
Yeah, because they don't stand for anything. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the actors that I grew up watching, like John Wayne and
Oh yeah, the Duke.
yeah, the Duke and some of the and Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Those types of actors are gone, and and I don't really care whether or not you're anti-gun or not. I really don't. I think it was a lack of safety. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't follow basic handgun safety rules or firearm safety rules. There was mismanagement of ammunition. Why was there live ammunition on a set? Why would they point a real firearm, whether it was a blank gun loaded with blanks or a real firearm loaded with blanks, at another human being? That's like the number one
Mm-hmm.
thing in the thing. Do
Mm-hmm.
not point
Right.
a gun at anything you wish not to destroy. And that
Well, we
and
know
it
Alec had to break the rules because he pointed it and it got hit. And they say in Hollywood, you don't point it at a human, even in a movie, you point it at a dummy target, is what I've
it-
read so far, if that's correct.
well, it would
So
make
he really messed up
sense.
bad.
Well, it would make sense because if you ever look, they don't film it so that you get a direct first person shooter position unless it's one of those type of movies, and then it's all CGI anyways. If they're shooting a scene where someone's shooting a gun, very rarely do they actually show first person shooting, like him actually showing the gun, him holding the gun on somebody and
True.
pulling the trigger. They usually will do that in a they'll have the person and
Go
they'll
back and forth.
film it back and forth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they'll just switch it back and forth, and you don't know because they just play the camera game. But yeah, that's just it was a total waste of a person's life, and and everything that was just horrible. But yeah, cover that a little bit. So now 30-06. I I'm almost tempted to go and purchase one.
Yeah.
Just to load
It
some
kicks like a
ammo.
mule to me, man. I'm an
Oh
old
yeah,
guy now, so I dread shooting it. But
it's like a
it,
12 gauge. It feels like a 12 gauge when it
yeah,
goes off.
it will literally, if I shoot it, say 15 or 20 times, it will bruise my shoulder after a day at the range. I have purple.
You're not the only one, dude. Listen to this. My welder, he's a big boy. He's 220 pounds, and he picks up pieces of sheet uh, steel that's good size. He's a big old boy, what I call a farm fed boy, and he puts that. He's got a Sporter Mauser 8 millimeter that's been chambered in 30-06, and or no, I'm sorry. It's chambered in 308 Winchester, but he does have a 30-06. I can't remember what exactly it is, but he says when he takes that down to the range, he shoots like 3 rounds, and he's like, "Good Lord!" He's like, "It's a 7 pound lightweight, like one of the rifles you use when you're horseback riding in the mountains." And
Hmm.
he's like, after about the sixth or seventh shot, he's just like, it starts hurting my eye teeth. He's like, I can feel it in my sinuses. He's like, I just can't shoot it anymore. He's like, I
Hmm.
can't take it.
Quest for the Perfect Low says put a can on it or brake on it. I agree. I thought
Oh
about having
yeah,
it threaded, actually.
yeah, that would be a really good idea. Hey, do you shoot yours with a can?
No.
No, 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 no. I know
Oh,
you don't,
Zach.
but
Oh, okay.
yeah, Zach. I'm wondering if Zach does, because if he does, I bet it does pull a lot of that hurt out of it.
Hmm. I heard a bubble. Somebody must be in the back. I thought I heard a bubble.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Are
I
you
swear I
hearing
heard it.
bubbles?
Yeah, yeah, a little beep that when someone comes on the
Yeah,
backside.
yeah.
I thought I heard that. Hmm,
Uh,
apparently not.
no bubbles. So, so Zach, do you use what bullets do you like to use for the? I know you were telling me that the Barnes TSX tipped, the copper solids. Those are great bullets. And are those what are those 168s you're shooting or 150s?
Yeah, I remember I watched some of that. I remember him talking about
Yeah,
some of the
couldn't
bullets.
remember because you got me confused today. With you said you're loading 150s when you do your show, and I was like, I can't remember if he said 150s or if I'm just thinking because you said 150s or 150s are pretty popular with the 30-06.
I
Seems to
have
give
a
them.
go ahead.
It just seems to give them a nice velocity curve right about 3,000 feet per second.
I've got a coming up, guys. A little live stream loading 30-06 with a 150 grain round for hunting. So watch out for
What
that.
what type of rounds are you going to be loading?
Just hunting 150 grain Hornady bullet, the one I
Oh,
called off earlier.
the interlock.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, those are really
Mm-hmm.
good bullets. I've been using those now for quite some time. Um, the interlocks seem to perform quite well in being a pretty solid bullet. You know, when it hits, like I've had shoulder through shoulder pass through with them with those bullets, and they retained about probably 70, maybe a little less than that, 60% of the bullet passing through two shoulders and two lungs and a heart, more or less. You know, a
Mm-hmm.
clean through shot. Um, of course, you're getting what do they call that? Hydraulic devastation from the bullet. If your bullet hits the target going faster, 1,800 feet per second or faster, it can cause a wave when it hits, and basically it's when it dumps that energy. It ultrasonic wave and fluid because the body's got mostly fluid water, and that it shatters organs and usually gives you a humane kill pretty quickly, which is what you're looking for when you're hunting deer and any type of game.
Quest made a comment. He did a review on his channel and it took away 40% recoil apparently right away. I had a, yeah, those brakes work, especially the good ones. That's what I need really for my age. I need to go get that barrel threaded.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he uses 165.
I kind of hate to do it though because it's stock, original. And
Yeah,
Remington.
sometimes you're like um you want to leave a rifle like that alone because it's also got sights on it.
Yeah.
I like those rifles when you put the scope up high enough that you can still use the you use special scope mounts so that you can still see the sights on irons, and you can use the scope for long range. It's just up a little
Mhm.
higher
I've got
than
those.
oh, you do.
Yeah, I tried them years ago. I didn't really like them. I couldn't cotton to them. You have to hold your cheek up a little too high on mine, so I just took them off. And basically, if I put the scope back on, I'm gonna take the front side off and the rear side and just remove them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, does that have it's going to leave a flat spot for the front sight and a flat spot for the rear sight on the rifle barrel?
No, it's just unscrews. It's just
Oh, okay.
holes. Yeah, everything on the front too unscrews and take it off. They did that barrel right, I guess, that time back then. So I took them off one time before, and it just basically little. You could probably put little sockets, set screws in it, but you really don't need to unless you get dirt in it or something. You might have to. But I thought about it.
G23's taking off.
Not y'all. Yeah, night G23. Appreciate you dropping by.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to I would like to have a 30-06 because the simple fact of the matter is the 30-06 cartridge is the exact same as a 50 BMG. I mean, if you look at the 30-06 as a cartridge and you take it and look and stand it right next to a 50 BMG, the all they've done is make the exact cartridge bigger. They've just made the cartridge, I don't know how many times bigger, but it's quite a bit bigger. But if you look at the angle of the shoulder, the length of from the datum line to the head of the case,
Hmm.
compare it to size and upsize the scale, and it's exact. So
Hmm.
basically, John Moses Browning took the 30-06 cartridge and he made the 50 caliber cartridge out of that. He just made it bigger because it works so well for him. The shoulder angle, the actual design of the cartridge
Hmm.
case.
I was looking at a rifle a couple of weeks back at Athens, Georgia. It was a 50 BMG or BMC. I forget. You know what I'm talking about.
BMG. Yeah. Yeah.
BMG, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it was awesome. God, I can remember when those things were 2,800 or $900
Oh, yeah.
years
I
ago.
remember that too. Yeah. And you could only buy, I think Barrett was about the only game in town except for maybe one or two other custom guys. Then they were even more expensive. Um, when you mess around with the 50 BMG, which stands for Browning Machine Gun cartridge, that's what the BMG stands for.
Yeah, Walter, you're right. He said I could get an additional barrel. Yeah, I could. Huh. I'd like to have the tools to take the barrels off. Do it
Yeah,
myself.
action tools.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we got Levin on here. Appreciate you all dropping by. This late in the South, that is.
Yeah. So what's everybody up to? Any of y'all done some 30-06 reloading?
Yeah, you're right, Quest. Perfect load. Yeah. He said you loaded all the way 110 grain to 230. That's why I bought it years ago. Back when I was young, I read a lot about the 270 back when they were in the 30-06. Both of them were kind of like the kings in the 80s and
Oh
70s.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I did a lot of reading on it. And I was always thought I wanted the 270. I said, nah, the 30-06 gives me more bullet weights. So I went with it.
Yes, and it gives you more selection of bullet style being a 308 diameter projectile.
Hmm.
The 270, now don't get me wrong, the 270 is the ultimate cartridge, and the 270 is pretty much a long game range, what they call a long range cartridge, but
Hmm.
they use it for a lot of your medium size game that are hard to get to, like sheep, pronghorn, stuff that
Hmm.
where you have to take a 3, 4, sometimes 500-yard shot. Um, and basically the 270 it was the king of that, and the father to the 270, I believe, was the 7mm Mauser. And I think that's where the 270 originally came from, was after the 7mm Mauser
Mm-hmm.
uh, came about, that they copied it and made a 270. And the cartridge, I forget the story, but there's a guy, if you guys get a chance to research a fella on YouTube, his channel is called Gun Blue 490. He's an older gentleman, and he is a wealth of knowledge. He was a police armorer in the 70s. He went to school at Smith and Wesson and at Ruger.
Mm-hmm. I watch him.
he, yeah, and he
Mm-hmm.
got to meet Bill Ruger personally.
Wow.
And he is a wealth of knowledge, especially revolvers and reloading. He is a big guy with Lee. So if you guys, he's a wealth of knowledge on reloading, firearms, the whole gambit.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a chance, go by and check his channel out.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to him. Tell him Echo's Reloading Chamber sent you all over there, because he's a super nice guy. He's
Walter
got
just said he's got a thing going on. He just posted a video on reloading organization area of where he reloads. He's also got what, a trip, Walter. I have to scroll back up.
Yeah,
Um,
Walter was talking about a bike trip, I think.
yeah,
Uh,
to the in the Southwest last week. Oh, he's going to do that video. He's working on that video that he took on that trip. That's okay.
okay.
Yeah, okay. Check those out, Walter. Everybody, check Walter out. He's got good
Yeah,
channel.
if you guys don't know, Walter Bunning here in the side has got. Hey, let me go ahead, Walter, and make you a moderator, and that way you can leave a link to your channel. I always try to promote everyone.
25-06 is a good round. It'll go. I've never shot one. I know of it. Yeah, Walter says Gun Blue is one of his favorites. Yeah, I've been watching him quite a few years now. He knows a lot of stuff.
Okay, let me get over here.
I'm gonna cut out here probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. Go jump into bed and snooze. Walter did a 3K mile ride. Yeah, that's a heck of a trip. Did you do camping out, Walter? Or did you do hotel? Probably camping out, if I remember right, because I watched one of your videos a while back on that. Hey, Uncle John, how you doing? Glad to have you here. Idaho just jumped in. Good to see you, Idaho.
Hey, Idaho, what's going on, brother? Let me know if Walter comes up as a moderator when next time he leaves a.
Okay. Let's see.
That way you can leave a link to your channel. We're gonna get through everybody eventually. Get to everybody that's got a channel that's a content creator. We're gonna get to you, and we'll have you on and promote your channel.
Yeah, he's a
Nobody's too
moderator now.
small. Nobody's too big. We can do them all.
He does both, he says, hotel and at the camping. I love
Oh,
camping. Yeah, he's a moderator now. He's good.
okay.
Okay. He got his channel link up. Yeah, you guys check him out. He's been casting, he told me, 40 years. So he
Oh
knows his
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions on casting or reloading, especially for lever guns and pistols, revolvers, Walter is a wealth of knowledge on that type of thing, really any type of reloading and casting bullets. I mean, he's been doing it forever.
Yeah, Quest. Yeah, I heard it's flat shooting, 25-06.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Somebody was doing a bunch of it to compare with um
Mhm.
the 6.5. Was it the 6.5 Grendel? Was it the somebody was comparing the 2506?
Hmm.
Was it the 6.5 Creedmoor? Yeah, I think it was the 6.5 Creedmoor. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was. And the 2506 was actually outperforming it in a couple of areas. And I was pretty surprised. I was like, the problem with
Mhm.
the 2506 is and a lot of cartridges die this way. They stay a wildcat cartridge for too many years. The 458 SOCOM is suffering from it right now.
Hmm.
It has not become a SAMI cartridge, and it's in limbo. It's been just sitting, and they're not really pushing it because the military has a contract for it, for SOCOM use.
Hmm.
So there's no real need to make it for civilian use because the government's buying every gun that they make.
Mhm.
Well, so basically, it's the same thing happened with the 6.5 Creedmoor or 6.5 Grindle. Bill Alexander from Alexander Arms that designed the 6.5 Grindle didn't want to release the reamers to be produced by other manufacturers of barrels for AR-15s. He wanted to keep it in-house only, his personal cartridge. If you wanted 6.5 Grindle, you had to buy a Bill Alexander Alexander Arms AR-15, and basically he almost went bankrupt because he didn't want to share the cartridge. Finally, at the very last minute, through many of his family and friends telling him, look, the only way the cartridge will survive is if you let other people make the barrels. So he basically came off the reamer and made up some royalties, just like everybody does that designs a cartridge, and got it out, and basically was able through all of that to avoid bankruptcy, and Sammy got it Sammy approved, and basically now we have the 6.5 Grindle, and it's still holding its own against any of the AR-15 cartridges right now. The Grindle, the 6.5 Grindle, is still supersonic at 1,000 yards,
Mhm. Yeah. T-
and is able to shoot 100, and I think what is it, 105 or 108 grain bullet, something like that.
I did know. I forgot. I don't remember now.
Yeah, I don't remember now either.
Mhm. Mhm. The
Don't quote
27.
me on the weight of the bullet, but I think it
Mhm.
was 100 grain bullet.
Mhm. The 270 also, I've seen a guy on YouTube, he's compared it to the 6.5 Creedmoor. In some areas, it does pretty good. It's the original long range cartridge for out west at one
Yeah,
time.
but the differences are the 270 are a long action. It's not
Yeah.
even really comparable to a I mean, the diameter of the bullet is, but the um the overall
Mhm.
it's a short action cartridge, the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah. But he mostly did a thing about the feet per second, the range, and all that. That's what he did. And not only that, a
Um
lot of the old guns had slower twist barrels than they do in these modern guns. Some of these newer guns, about 6.5, got really fast twist barrels, supposedly, which wasn't, we didn't have them in the old days.
Yeah, I'm not I know the older cartridges were slower twist, but a lot of that had to do with what they were like if you looked at the 243s, those guns were shooting rockets. The the 243 is a screaming demon.
Mhm.
The it's just it's an absolute balls out, no full throttle. If you're gonna hit something with it, I mean, the when the gun if you shoot a 243 out of a set of bags, and you've got the gun completely level, that thing will shoot 500 yards before it drops. It's such a flat shooting rifle, and it doesn't wallop your arm. And as a kid, when I went hunting the first time, deer hunting, with a rifle, the first very scoped weapon I ever shot was my friend's wife's 243, because it was a smaller rifle and I was a smaller guy, being a young man, and so it fit me. You like the pull, the scope, field of view, the parallax,
What
everything
was that?
fit me correctly.
Mm. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah,
That was weird.
I hear some crackling coming off of your mic too, and then I'm hearing
It
it in the show.
okay, it's like I told you, this thing's bad and out of the
Yeah,
box. They're gonna Sweetwater's gonna get a call tomorrow or Monday. Tomorrow if they're in, on the job. And it happens this day and age. Everything coming out of China. Yeah, I was wondering if you could hear it. I've definitely been hearing it.
yeah, that's just crazy that
Yeah.
that you got a bad one right off the bat.
Hmm. I'm gonna call them like I said. And I'm gonna tell them send the one I sent back. I said just reship it. I go, okay, man. Yeah. At least I know it's clear as a bell. Do you all hear static on my mic tonight? Because you shouldn't be hearing it. If it is, it's coming from my audio interface, which I replaced. Eagle Eyes here. Good to see you, Eagle Eye. 25
Hey,
cents for the
Eagle Eye,
battery.
brother. All right, yeah, I will shoot you one over, brother. Give me two shakes of a whatever they call that. Let me see, where is the yeah. Oh, there it is, right there. Doo-doo-doo. Okay.
Yeah, apparently the PC reboot didn't help. I still hear it now, even when I'm talking. That's a bummer. It'll only take a day, believe it or not, from Indiana, I think it is. It only takes like 2 days to get here. As they ship it, sometimes I get it the next day through FedEx, which is fast. Ground too. And not only that, they're slow right now. FedEx is. I think they're like only doing 80% capacity.
Yeah,
But
but
they're
it's
getting.
not coming very far. I think it's right
Mm-mm.
around the corner from your house. Is
Yeah.
where it's only a state or so away.
Ram says he's been told to neck down 30-06 or 270 to make 25-06 brass. Anyone have any personal experience with this? Not me.
I have actually done that. I have messed around with it just because I had some 270 brass, and I redid it into some 7 millimeter. What was that? 708, I think it was. What I did was, what I would have liked to done was anneal it before every time I did it. But what I did was, I uh, I went from 270 or 30-06 to hold on. What is he sizing down?
Ram says, I've been told you can neck down 30-06 or 270 to make 25-06 brass.
25-06. Okay, that uh yes, you can. Yes, you can, because they're both, the parent case is the odd six cartridge. Um, the 25 odd six, what I would do is, if I would buy a Lee die, and I would also buy an RCBS full length sizing die or some other brand. Lyman, it could be Redding if you want to be a pricey guy, and it can be Lyman, anything you want. Just the Lee die is the reason being is Lee dies. They tell you straight from the factory they are not used for forming brass, and the reason being is brass has a memory. So when I form a piece of brass, I need to be able to anneal it to have it forget its memory of the last uh, chamber or piece of machinery it was in. So if I fire this cartridge out of one gun, now I'm going to resize it. I want to very gradually size it to a smaller cartridge like the 2506. So I want to use a die that's going to resize the body the least amount. So I'm going to use a Lee, because what it's going to do is it's going to do the initial work to get that cartridge, the body of that cartridge and everything back to the right size, in the neck to the right size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use an expander on it or anything. I'm just going to pull the expander out of the lead eye, and I'm going to run the 30 odd six or 270 up into the 2506 cartridge, or the die, the Lee. When I pull it out of there, I'm going to anneal it. Then I'm going to put it into a regular 2506 die, such as an RCBS Lyman, Redding, whatever, because that
Yeah.
is going to be a little bit tighter die, and that's going to give you your final dimension that's going to make sure that you don't get a stuck case.
Well, guys, it's about midnight here in the South. I'm going to bed. I hate to leave you, Echo.
No worries, brother.
But I'm going to hit the hay and get up and call Sweetwater tomorrow. So,
All right,
uh,
man. We'll have a good one.
you too. Good being on with you. Good seeing you on the side chat. Hopefully, I'll have a live stream coming up when I get my new audio interface. So, you all take care. Good seeing you. Bye.
Bye.
Right on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, brother.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I missed what you were talking about for the last like 2 minutes, but
Oh, okay. I was just talking about how when you're resizing from 270 Winchester or 30 odd six, that to 2506, I recommend you use a Lee die for
okay.
your first part of your resizing, because they tell you not to use Lee dies because they do the least amount of body
Die. Yep.
squishing.
Yeah.
So they won't really get a cartridge formed far enough. But you don't want to do all that changing of the cartridge until you get it through a Lee die, and that's the first step. Then
Yeah.
run it through like an RCBS Lyman or Redding die for your second stage, and anneal it in between. And
Yeah,
that's
I would
gonna,
even anneal it before you do it.
yeah,
While you soften it so you're not work hardening it.
yeah. That's another really good idea. You can never really ever anneal, as long as you do it and you work it and then you anneal it, or anneal it before you get started, and then after every time you anneal it, you're going to be fine. You just want to make sure that you don't overheat it when you're annealing it. You don't want you don't want it to glow.
Yep, right before that.
Yeah,
Yep.
right before that, where it gets up to about 665 degrees, and that's about it. And that and as soon as you get that on the just below the neck or just below the shoulder at 665 degrees, you stop. Boom, you're done.
Yeah. So what I do is I dip all mine in temp. Tells you
temp black.
Yep. So it tells you right where you're at. And so yeah, that's how I do it. I used to have a bench source.
Yeah.
But I found it really didn't make much difference if I used that or if I just used a hand torch. I mean, I was just as fast. And so I was like, you know what? This is $600 that I could put towards an induction one. So I'm saving for an induction. I actually sold my bench source and I'm gonna try to go to an induction one.
Yeah, like an amp.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I have a 338. It says 338. It was a 338 Win Mag, but it's neck down to an .6. So it's a 338 Win Mag case and neck down to an .6, so a 308 bullet. And that's a Wildcat cartridge. And I anneal every single time I have to neck stuff down, because otherwise, when I go to neck it cracks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I learned that the hard way. I lost a lot of cases before I was annealing it. And so that's why I was saying it's important to anneal before. So yeah. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, we got some guys jumping out. I think Ram 4x4, and I think HIPAA. Anybody out there that's jumping out, I'm ready to move along to folks. Oh, okay. Yeah. Walter, very nice to see you tonight, sir. Any of y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it. We really appreciate you guys coming in and spending some time with us. If you guys are going to still hang out, we're going to be here talking a little bit. So if you guys want to hang out, so what are you doing over at your house?
So right now I'm reloading some 40 cal. That's I shoot pretty much pistols. Right, mainly shoot is 44 mag and 40 cal. And so I've got a 5-gallon bucket I've been going through and resizing 40 cal. It's kind of what I'm doing right now.
That sounds like a massive job.
It's a pain. Yeah. Yeah. I got to do it though, so I figure why the heck, why not do it while I can BS a little bit and distract myself. And I'm not playing with any powder or primers, so I got a little bit of wine too,
Yeah, exactly. That's a safe combination.
Yeah.
You can I always like to resize. I mean, you can't hurt anything. The worst thing you can do is resize something that's got a split neck, and you got to end up finding it anyways when you do your final inspection.
Yeah. Right on. Yep. Yeah. But back to your point, I think you were asking about brass, right? And I think AR was talking about he uses Remington. Was he using Remington brass?
Yeah.
I was using Remington brass too, and I just noticed too much inconsistency with the case volume. And I can't bring myself buying Lapua brass, so I switched to Norma brass, and boy, that was like night and day difference. Just in quality. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I feel like Norma and Nosler are I feel like they're the same brand. I mean, I think they both come out of Sweden, or Sweden or Switzerland, something like that. Yeah, and I've been super impressed with that. But Remington's good stuff if you just want to plink with. But for me, I noticed if I want good groups, I have to go with a little bit higher standard brass.
Yeah.
But that's then again, I weigh every piece of brass. I'm case volume, all of them. Probably I'm over the top on it, but I'm picky.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, if you can do it and make it happen, and I understand using that brass. I would love to be able to use Lapua, and I know that I trying to remember. I know that Norma and Peterson's and
Pierce is good brass. Yeah.
yeah, and Norma and they they're doing something. I'm not sure what the deal is with it, but there is something going on. Like it's like I want to say Peterson's is hand selected Norma or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some kind of method to that madness. I'm just
Yep.
not 100%, so don't quote me on it. But there is something like that. Whether it's Peterson, whether it's Norma, I know it's not Lapua,
Okay.
but I know
Nosler's really good brass.
Nos. Yes, I know Nosler and Norma and Peterson's, they may have something that's familiar with one of those, the two of those three, and I'm not sure which two it is,
Yeah.
but I know that one is basically just premium hand selected one of those brands,
Yeah.
like they to make the other brand. Like the one company says, hey, we want hand selected brass that are within the same, only this many grains of
Mhm.
difference between
Yeah.
cartridge to cartridge. And so they're just higher spec on the brass, so they're hand selected. And I can't remember who it is. I've heard it 100 times, but I can't remember for the life of me.
Yeah. I don't know. I pretty much have stuck with only Lupua brass I shoot is in my 22 250, and that's because that's relatively cheap and I can find it on sale quite often. But otherwise, I pretty much stick with Nosler and Norma. But I mean, Ram 4x4 brings up a good point. He's been disappointed with Winchester brass. I've noticed a difference in Winchester brass to myself when they in the last few years. I feel like the consistency has been not as great.
Well, that's unfortunate because I've got 2 bags of Winchester brass right here.
Newer stuff.
Yeah, brand new stuff.
I've been blowing primer pockets out like crazy on those things in AR and not even hot AR rounds. Um, I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but I mean we're talking mile loads and maybe 3 firings, and my primer pockets are super loose. And then I've also noticed just the weight. The weight variation has been very high on them. But
Yeah, I'll have to. I haven't even opened this bag. I'll have to open it and take a look and see. It almost looks like they have a Ziploc on this bag. Why would you put a Ziploc on brass? I don't understand that one, but okay, so I'm gonna be like opening and closing this like a crackhead. Like it's a 50 round bag. If I can't reload 50 rounds, somebody needs to break my hands in a like a piano or something. I'm like, I think I can handle 50. Now, if it was a
yeah,
100 round bag, I'd be like, that's probably a pretty good idea.
yeah.
But we'll see how it works. We'll shoot 100 round. I got 2 bags of 50 here, Winchester.
What
That
are
my
they
butt
for?
7.62 by 39.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
my buddy was nice enough to pick these up for me at the I think the Sportsman Warehouse or something, maybe what
Yeah.
is that one? It starts with a C. Um,
Cabela's?
Cabela's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
either Cabela's or Sportsman Warehouse or something like that. And he got me a couple bags of it because I was able to buy 100 round bag of Starline.
Oh,
And
nice. Right on.
Starline, yeah, Starline's like my brass because it's
I really
cheap.
like it for pistol.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cheap and it does a good job and it's
Yep.
not too crazy, and the primer pockets are decent in them,
Uh-huh.
and they also offer 308 small primer pocket brass, So
Okay.
I'm down about that because like all my other buddies, they use large primer pocket 308 brass.
Okay.
So I can tumble mine with theirs and
Another difference.
know the difference because it's small, rifle primer. So it gives me, and plus, I've noticed my standard deviations shrinking to single digit numbers now.
Really,
With
with just going to small.
yeah, going to small and using Magnum CCI small rifle primers.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm getting, like, if you look at a lot of these guys that are shooting competition for precision rifle,
Mm-hmm.
they're using small rifle primer 308 brass. They're using Bartlein barrels and they're using CCI Magnum rifle primers.
Okay.
And yeah, and they're getting the best. And these are guys that are winning. These
Yeah.
aren't just guys, but you see the same repetitive like setups.
Yep.
Bartlein or Krager barrels,
Krager's good.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and uh, small rifle prime brass, and they're starting to for 308. This is for 30 cal,
Yeah.
and for I was like really amazed, and they're all using the 450s. I think it is a 450 is a small,
CCIs.
small
Yep.
rifle Magnum primer.
Yeah.
Is anybody saying anything about it? I see people commenting now.
Yeah.
So HIPAA is like Magnum primers.
Okay, so Nosler is in Bend, Oregon. Okay, good. Okay, good deal. I didn't know that. So I learned something.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't think it's manufactured in Bend though, is it? Idaho? I think that their ammo's loaded there, but I don't know if it's manufactured. But that's good to know. If I didn't know that, that's not very far from me. I may have to drive there.
yeah, you could do an interview,
Yeah,
and
that would be awesome.
yeah, you could
I
do an
love
interview.
Nosler. Nosler's my second favorite bullet. So that's what I shoot out of. I shoot the Nosler competitions out of that my Ot 6 too. That's my other
Yeah.
favorite bullet. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your twist rate in that gun?
1 in 10.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, 1 in 10. I was gonna tell you. So those brakes. So they make clamp on. I have a clamp on brake on this gun, so it's not threaded, and so you can take it on and off. That's what's nice about it. That's what was super appealing to me. I was like, okay, I don't have to spend $140 to have my barrel threaded right, and this thing clamps right on, and it was amazing. It took away almost 40% of recoil. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. Those brakes, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, I would go ahead and have it threaded so that later on, if you wanted to get a suppressor,
Yep.
that's always good if you're hunting, is to have a suppressor, because then if somebody, like I was saying, man, there's nothing worse to be sitting there all morning long and then
Oh
hear
yeah. And scare everything away in the distance. Yep.
yeah, you're like, thanks. Couldn't
Yeah.
have used a suppressor? And
It blows me away that some states don't have them, illegal. It's just
yeah,
crazy.
and you would think that people, if they had a neighbor that shot a lot and had his friends over and they all shot because they had a range in their backyard, you would be hoping that they have a suppressor.
Yeah.
So that you can, get, hear, not hear rifle fire all afternoon long, so in case you want to, you're some peace and quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think I go back to not only that, but just for the shooter and the people with them, right? That's a huge hearing protection. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
so many people's hearing. That's why.
I've lost a lot of hearing over the years from
Yep.
rifles.
Well, and the way I look at it is okay, if cops are going to it, all the cops are going to it for their ARs or their CZ Scorpions or whatever. Why aren't civilians allowed to do it? Because they're going to it for hearing protection. They're not going to it for stealth.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's the difference? If all cops can do it, all everybody else should do. If you're legally allowed to own a firearm, you should legally allowed to just buy a suppressor. But it's
Yeah,
just a way for the ATF to make money. So, I mean, really.
yeah, it is kind of that. It is.
Yeah.
They definitely do play that, like, and with the money and all that, they also keep it out of everybody from being able to have one, because
Yeah.
not everybody can afford to go down and spend $1,000 for a suppressor and then
Yep.
spend an extra 200 on a tax stamp
Yeah.
when that's just. And before it was even worse because it was $200, and the problem was that most people didn't make $200 in a year back in the 20s, and this stuff has been in these ridiculous prices for a long time, like
Yeah.
really not at 200, but
Yeah.
they've been high for, and it prices it out of the ability for
A
certain
lot of people.
class of people
Yeah.
not to be able to have that.
That's
So
why Form 1s are so nice. So, like a form, you familiar with the Form 1?
yes.
Yeah, so Form 1s are super nice. You pay $200 for a tax stamp, you get it back in approval in 3 weeks, basically, and you're not waiting to 6 months to a year bull crap, and you can make your own, and you can literally make one for, like, $40, or you can go expensive. I mean, you can basically buy them for $40 offline right now, and it's crazy, and I've got a buddy that did that, and his blackout shoots press, no problem. That little 22 he's got, the bolt's louder than the gun is. And so, it's crazy.
So what does he do? He filed a Form 1, and then he
Form 1.
ordered it once he or got the paperwork started on
Oh,
it, and
yeah, so
or
what you wanna do is you can do your Form 1 whenever, but you have to on your Form 1, you have to put what you're putting for your serial number and, the length of it and everything like that. So, you can order it, and have it in your hand, you just can't do any drilling. You can't punch the baffles out or anything like that
oh, I see what
until
you're
that Form
talking
1
about.
comes back, right?
Right, and it's
So
approved, and you got your number.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But it's so much. I mean, you still got to pay that $200.
Dollars, yeah.
But it gets away. You can build a pretty nice suppressor for $200 plus that. Then you're into $400. And it's so that's not too terrible. It's better than like you said, buying a silencer co. And going spending 800 to 2 grand on on one. And then yeah, it's crazy. As I think over. I can't remember where it is, what country it is, but basically they go into a gun shop and they're like $35. They look at them as like just throwaways. They go in, they buy them over the counter. They use them for hunting. They're like I think it's like the gentleman way of using them. It's for hunting.
Yes.
I can't remember
Yeah.
what country that is.
England for one. England, all over Europe is like that. It's considered ungentlemanly like to hunt
Yeah.
without a suppressor because of what we were talking about. You sit out there all morning long
Yep.
to get a shot, and then somebody else gets just lucky, a little quicker than you, but
Yep.
it ruins it for everyone else because once that shot goes off, every deer within 2-3 miles is just gone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Uncle Jim, I wasn't saying you can buy a suppressor Form 1. It's the Form 1 is where the one you can make your own suppressor. And so you have to get the Form 1 back before you can drill your baffles and then your holes and everything like that. Yeah. So
Hey, Uncle Jim, what's going on, brother? You want a link, Jim? I'll send you one.
yeah.
So, what is so 30-06, brother? What I'm big on this. Are you shooting what weight bullets are you shooting on your barns? The
165s. 165s shoot the best. So yeah, 165s, 168 shoot good too, but I can never find 168s. And I'm getting, I think on the 165, I'm getting velocity around like 2860. So I'm getting pretty good velocity out of it. And yeah, so it's moving that 165 gram pretty good. For my Nazar custom competition, I shoot a 165 too. The gun seems to just like that range, 165 or 220 grain bullet. It really likes 222. Yeah, HEPA, you can vibro etch the your personal info. You know, you pick your serial number and everything like that, and that you engrave that onto the can. And yeah, Uncle Jim, a silencer co is better probably than most than you can make. But once again, then you're paying, you know, quite a bit more money. We were just basically talking about if you know how expensive it's gotten, but how there is some cheaper routes to run a can.
Yeah, you definitely get, what you're paying for when you buy that, because if
Yep.
you buy something from like Silencer Co. or whatever company you decide to, you getting depending on how much you spend, you can get those new super lightweight metals, like
Yep.
the titanium's one of them. There's a
Yep.
couple of them that they use. There's another one that's real popular,
Yeah.
and it's super expensive.
Yeah.
But they are nice. Jim's got a couple of cans that he shoots in his backyard, and it makes it so much nicer when you can shoot a rifle. And like, I never even had hearing protection until 91.
Oh,
I didn't even own hearing protection until 91, and I still own the setup pelters that
yeah.
I bought for my job at the range that I worked at, because that was the first time I ever had worked in an indoor range. And
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, it's too loud in here. And sure as hell, I walked into the damn range by accident one day without hearing protection on, and you hear that pop.
Yeah.
One person fired, and you're like, I can't hear. You're like, God, I
Oh
can't
yeah.
hear. Don't do that.
Indoor firing range, even with hearing protection's loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, no, I it's funny we talk about that, like, because I know my buddy asks, you know, he's like, "Hey, do you wear hearing protection in Washington State?" And you can't wear hearing protection while you're hunting, at least not electronic, because they say it enhances the sound, right? Gives you advantage, right? And so I'm like, I've never done it, but I probably should be. But to me, I can't believe that they don't let you wear hearing protection. I didn't know that. I looked it up. So because he asked me, and I couldn't believe that. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we everybody was hoping to get that passed when Trump was in office, but
Yep.
that kind of went down the sewer drain. But hopefully it comes back and we get that passed, because that would be really cool if they made it. So the only thing that sucks about that is that all the guys that spent all the money to get all their stuff, they should get it some kind of refund for, for paying for their stamps and stuff. They should get a refund on that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to pay for something and not
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not yeah.
So you thinking about getting an Aught 6?
Me, yeah, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about, maybe buying a older milsurp or something like that,
Okay. Like a
or
Springfield, what's that, the 1903 or
yeah, I
yeah.
was seeing if I could find like an old nice milsurp 1903,
Yeah.
and or just, or maybe a Thompson Center
Okay. Yeah.
contender or encore,
Yep.
and with barrel for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have a friend that picked up I think it was a Savage, 110 or a 111, and I think he paid with a Vortex scope on it. I think he ended up paying like it was like 280. It was something ridiculous, and it was when Dick's Sporting Goods decided to stop selling guns. And so
Oh yeah.
they had everything going on sale, right? And he got a screaming deal, and it's a really accurate gun. And so those little Savages are pretty good guns. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Savages shoot very good. I've never had a problem out of a Savage rifle. Their new little free floating bolt face is
Yeah.
really good, because it's almost like the rifle is blueprinted.
Yeah.
from just a factory setup.
Yeah. 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 HEPA criminals get in for free and we got to pay. Yeah. That's usually how it goes. That's the problem of being a law abiding citizen. Let's see.
Let's see what's.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. We gotta pay. Yeah, isn't that how it always is? Criminals always tend to acquire things. No matter what the laws say, the only people that the laws affect are, law-abiding citizens. But so what is Idaho saying here? I was on the mountain all day cutting wood. And I got home. Uncle Jim chat was over. Oh yeah, Idaho. Uncle Jim did a short chat tonight. I didn't even know that it was over. I was coming on to check it out, and I even jumped on the link. And by the time I got over there, it was already over, and I was like, "Oh wow, that was quick." It was unfortunate. Cranky started it. What is Cranky started?
All right, I'm back.
StreamYard minute. Yay, so yeah, I was trying to read in the side here. It says he
Bashing Dodge. Who's bashing Dodge? I have a Dodge. Nothing wrong with Dodges. It's the working man's truck now.
What do you mean? Ford has always been the working man's truck.
Not anymore. Ford's
Why?
expensive.
Yeah, they have gotten expensive, but you got to pay for quality.
Not when it comes to a Ford. Maybe with a Chevy. No, I'm just teasing. No,
Chevy is horrible.
I'm a Ford person when it comes to car. Like Mustang's my favorite car. I have a '66, but man, I have a Dodge. I have a Ford service truck that I use for work, and it's a piece of crap. And I have a Dodge personal truck, and I love it. So I don't know. I just feel like you got to pay. I agree. You do got to pay way more for Ford to get the luxuries, but Dodge do suck. Look it up. I don't know. That thing got a Hemi, or we can go diesel. Cummins, man, it's hard to beat a Cummins.
Yeah, the Cummins, but the problems with Dodge was the transmissions. The automatic transmissions that they built in those trucks in the late 90s they were. I remember I was driving a tow truck. It was a 98 Dodge 3500 Laramie, and it
Okay.
had the 3500 one ton, and it
Okay.
had no, not Detroit. It had a Cummins.
Yep.
Uh, what was it? A 12 valve. It was the base motor. It was fuel injected, but it was I want to say it was like the first series, and it was like super basic motor, but it was a turbo,
Okay.
and it ran really good. But I put 4 transmissions in that thing, and I had it 2 years. And I just every time I would get a new driver in the company, they would want to drive that truck because it was a nice truck. It had an automatic tranny in it.
Yeah.
But the problem was if you left the overdrive button on, and when you were going slow and you were towing,
Mm-hmm.
it would just burn up the transmission. And most guys that were new, they would leave it on and they would cook my transmission. I'd call them up on their radio and be like, "Don't be leaving that button on." And they'd be like, "Oh, we're not doing it." And they'd be, "Oh man,
Crap, gotta turn that off.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
my tranny just blowing every seal out of it."
Yeah. I've had 2 Dodges, and I've never had any problems with them, but I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, no, I tell you what, I have an '08 service truck, Ford service truck with a service bed on it, and that thing is a POS. I hate it. It's got 140,000 miles on it. It's got no power. It's just
What motor? What year?
it's an '08,
Oh,
and
that's a problem right there. That
oh
was
yeah.
the 6. Is it a diesel?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it the 6.3 or whatever that was? The 6 something?
6.3 or 6.4. I don't think it's a 6.4. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's 6.3. Yeah,
that was the nightmare motor that they had.
yeah,
That motor had no power whatsoever and would constantly puke turbochargers. They
yeah.
had some horrible induction cooling system on it, and it was horrible. And I remember a lot of them blowing up, and I was like, because the last Ford I owned was a 99, and I had a 7.3 liter turbo International Harvester built motor. It said International Harvester right on it,
Uh huh.
and that son of a gun would turn 3,800 750 3,800 3,750 RPM, and that's incredibly high for a diesel.
Yeah.
And it would just literally, I mean, it would jump off the line, and it was an awesome truck. But
Well,
I ended up having no trouble out of it for 2 years, and I sold it when I started getting my vision was starting to get bad, and everybody wanted to buy it because they had come out with the new trucks and changed over to the International was building them, I think, or was it Ford? I can't remember if Ford started building their own diesels. I want to say that's what they were doing, but I can't
mhm.
swear to it. And I think International built one of them, and it was horrible because they were wanting fuel economy and all this shit. And there was
Yeah,
one thing their 7.3 was fuel economy.
yeah.
It would drink fuel. Like I had 2 tanks on it, and when I floored it, I could watch the damn gauge almost move. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was because I mean you're talking about a motor 7.3.
yep,
That
yeah,
was a huge motor.
yeah, yeah. Eagle Eye, what are you talking about getting threaded and suppressed? Are you just talking about every gun might as well just get it threaded and suppressed? Because I agree with you.
Yeah. Eagle eye shooting.
Idaho's comment's pretty funny.
What is he
I
talking
have I have
about?
one Ford and one GMC, and Pam drives a Nissan because she's communist.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I recently I tried doing some Magnum primers in my 30-06 to see if it would make a difference, right? And going from a large rifle to a large rifle Magnum, and I didn't see any difference. The only thing I really saw was a point of impact shift. Groups
Yeah.
stayed together, but it did raise my SDs, which was interesting. Um,
Huh.
I kind of thought I would have lowered them, but I've never really messed with around Magnum primers because only really Magnum cartridge. I only load 2 Magnum cartridges, 300 Win Mag and that 338-06, and those are basically the 2 that I ever loaded, and I've never really tinkered with. So I've been thinking about doing some sort of like testing on it, but I'm sure tons of people have done it. But
That doesn't mean you can't do it.
yeah.
I have a 7.5 1990. Oh yeah, I know exactly what he's got. That was the 1990 1250 will grind your what does it say?
Grind your rear end in a pole. So like basically pulling against each other. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. The new pickup's got a lot of power. Yeah. But yeah, no, Jim, that's a good truck. I think my dad had a 92, I think with the same motor. And yeah, that was a good truck.
I like the 90s trucks.
I like the
It's like,
body of them big time.
yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like Ford, when they went to the 2000 models, they started making a lot of this stuff out of plastic
Yep.
that used to be made out of steel. I noticed a lot of like plastic cover handles on the tailgates and stuff like that. That just didn't remind me of Ford, because Ford was always a work truck. It was
Yeah.
always a truck that you could beat the shit out of, and literally beat it as hard as you can, and it would just wake up the next day and be like, yep, ready for another day of beating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And and just by, all I had to do was add oil.
Yeah.
That's it. I put Rotella in my
Yep.
trucks, and I would just run Rotella in there. I'd run good oils with good filters, international filters, and I didn't buy those cheap ones, and
Yep.
I ran the name brand ones and never had an issue.
Yeah. Ram, what were you talking about? What powder were we talking about for '06 or what? I actually, me and my buddy, we just picked up a '77 Dodge, 1-ton dually with the 360 in it, and we're gonna turn it into our hunting rig, and we're basically gonna build a camper off the back, and that's gonna be a fun project.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's got the four speed in it. It's a fun little truck. It's got that granny gear. You let the
Oh
clutch out,
yeah,
no gas. You can
no
walk
gas,
next
and it
to it.
just.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 454. That's a good motor. Oh, yeah. Trying primer, Magnum primers. Yeah. So my main powder I use for my '06 is the IMR 4064. But I have used a lot of Varget too. Or H40 4350 and IMR 4350. But my gun seems to like the IMR 4064 the best. Um, but yeah, that's the difference I have, and that's what I've been thinking about doing is going with like 4 different powders and trying it with the large rifle primer and the large rifle magnum primer with the same loads, and basically shoot the same thing and measure off velocity and point of impact and the group size, and see what the difference would be.
Rotella makes a diesel oil for trucks and heavy equipment, as well as tractors and stuff like that. They make quite a few different non-detergent oils for diesel and turbo diesel engines. It's just they've got a really good warranty on the oil when you run it in certain motors. They even recommend it.
Oh yeah, no problem, Ram.
What's Ram?
Eagle. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, go ahead, dude.
Eagle Eye, what are you going to be using for projectiles for that 25-06? I'm thinking about getting one of those for my son so he can start shooting with it.
Yeah, 25-06 sounds like a pretty neat cartridge.
It is. I've shot quite a few of them, and they're flat. It's a flat shooting round. Okay. My time learning.
Okay, hold on. What's Jim saying? Syntech. Let me see. I gotta blow you up. T4, T5, and Syntech. I know have it in my tractor. Oh yeah.
Tractor's probably a diesel.
It is it has it in it. It's got detergent in the Rotella. It does. I know that they make one. I'm not sure what I remember buying it in the that's what it wasn't 55 gallons. It was 10 gallons of oil. But I would get 10-gallon drums, and I would get sometimes I'd get 3 of them, and we would put the little pump on top of it where you peel the tabs off and you'd pump it, and it was only, I want to say it was 30 weight or 35 weight oil.
Oh, okay.
And it was for a turbo motor, and it was for diesel, so it was non-detergent oil.
Rotella, and yes, gray oil and good for old 60 scars. So Echo, what gun do you mainly reload for then? That you shoot on common?
I reload for my 308, but I haven't been shooting it in the last year and a half because of the COVID.
Oh, okay.
I've been pretty much trapped in my house.
Oh, okay, that's a
So
bummer.
because I've got type 1 diabetes, so
you kind of gotta hide out.
I try to hide out, and then finally I waited for the vaccine for the Pfizer vaccine to be approved completely, not an emergency approval, but a regular FDA approval. and then I took that one
Okay.
because I wanted to make sure I took the one that they approved, and I didn't really have a choice because if I got it with my kidney function and stuff with this disease I have, it wouldn't be a good for me. So
Yeah.
I
Totally
didn't want to
understandable.
take a chance.
Yeah.
Well, my wife, she works at a bank and she handles money.
All day long.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's just asking for, to catch something from
Yeah.
that. It's flu viruses, all get sick at the bank.
Oh
Everybody,
yeah. It's like being a teacher at that point.
yeah,
Might even be worse.
it might be.
Yeah.
Money is filthy.
Yeah. So what were you shooting out of your 308 then?
I am shooting out right now 168 grain Sierra Match King.
Okay.
That's what I use because I just pop pellet. I pop paper. I
Yeah.
don't, shoot animals with it. If I was gonna shoot animals, I would use the 165 grain Interlock,
Okay.
or possibly even a Barnes TSX
Yep.
and or a GMX bullet, a
Yep.
solid.
Yep. Yeah, those are good. Yeah. Yeah,
Have you?
I like Sierra a lot. Sierra's a good bullet too. I'm not sure I like them for hunting, but I do like them for paper punching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would even the Sierra Game Changer is
Oh, Game King.
still
Yeah.
yeah, the Game King, and the those bullets I've had them come completely
The
apart.
jacketing. Yeah, the jacketing
Yeah,
just comes right off of them. Yep.
yeah,
See,
kills
that's one
and
thing
the
we were talking about last night is, showing
yeah,
going into ballistic. That's one bullet I really want to show at 400 yards that bullet comes apart.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that one there, and the thing is, if they would have just put a little bit thicker jacket on it, I think it would have made the bullet a little bit stronger, or use some kind of bonding to
Yeah.
bond the bullet to uh
Jacket.
yeah, to the jacket. It
Yeah.
would have turned out a little bit better.
Yeah. For sure.
What is Eagle? He says
Ooh, 277 Wolverine. Nice.
oh yeah, that
I just made
sounds
a bust.
pretty neat.
I just made a bunch of custom ammo boxes for a guy with 277 Wolverine.
Oh, you do the 3D printing, so does Kenny, so does
Yeah.
Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah. 8-inch barrel. Wow, that thing's moving. 2890 with only an 8-inch barrel.
Jesus.
Kenny, what kind of powder are you running behind that? Not the charge weight, but what powder?
You put in there 22 long rifle powder. What the hell?
Or is he talking about 22 Alliant maybe? That seems like I don't know.
Oh, hey, Squatch. What's going on, brother? What's he saying?
SK rifle subsonic 22 long. Okay. Let's, I haven't messed with any zinc bullets yet. Mainly just mainly all lead.
I'm Squatch, 7 foot.
Just chopped in and heard you guys chatting. Okay. Well, Sasquatch, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with a 22-250 if it's 25 yards out to 500 yards. If you're trying to shoot groundhogs.
Yeah, 22-250. Those are fast shooting little guns.
Yep.
What is that? 4,000 feet per second, I think those guns shoot at.
Yeah, I shoot my 53 grain VMAX at almost 4,100 feet.
Jesus, that's moving.
Yeah, it burns up barrels, but man, it's accurate and it's fun.
Yeah, the 243 is really good for that as well. I agree,
Yep.
Uncle
Shoot a
Jim.
lighter bullet with it. Heck yeah.
Yeah, to shoot the light bullets with the 243, and you can push that velocity right up there as well.
Yep. Where do you get brass for a 22-250? Yeah, that's a great question. Or a 243. They're out there. Actually, Midway's been getting a bunch of stuff in lately.
Yeah, I've been
So it's
seeing a
Crafty
lot.
Sons.
Yeah, check all the major distributors. Keep checking and set the little reminders, and just keep checking on a daily
Yeah.
basis. You can come across stuff. I've had a couple of guys send me some emails. Midway has been getting in on a regular basis.
Yep.
41 small rifle primers, number 41s. And I saw some small pistol come in not too long ago as well.
Yeah. I've been getting powder actually. I was pretty stocked up on powder, but I've been Powder Valley, Midway, Brownells. They've all been getting powder. I just bought a 8-pound jug of CFE 223 2 weeks ago from the from I think it was Midway. Yeah, Midway.
What was CF 223?
Yeah, yeah. Bought an 8-pound jug of that because I can't find that anywhere around here. I love that powder for shooting some 223. Let's see here. 87 grain VMAX and yeah, that's true. 87 grain VMAX and 243. That is a great varmint round. 243, six arcs. 6 arcs, a great round. I think that's being very underrated right now.
Kenny's had a lot of experience with it. He's had some issues with the AR-15 version of it.
Yep.
Just from basically, he's had some problems of it jumping, the bullet jumping on it.
Oh, okay.
I'm blind as.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, shipping powder. You're always hit with a hazmat fee. It don't matter. That's why I always buy at least an 8 pounds. That way it makes it worth it.
Yeah, so yeah, if you buy powder, I try to see that's the messed up thing right now because they're limiting to what you can buy.
Yep.
So you end up having to, you know, and somebody told me this, you guys, it like I think it was Powder Valley. You can basically, I think, Eagle Eye Shooting was telling me, you can have them hold your order until something else you want comes in, as
Okay.
long as you pay for it. They don't mind like just sticking it in like I guess like a little plastic tub or something that they keep the orders in each one,
Hmm.
and throwing your stuff in there for as soon as you can get more stuff, so that your
Yeah.
hazmat fee is, I think they'll do it for one month or something like that. I
Okay.
can't remember what he said, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to pay the primer prices right now. I'm pretty well stocked up on primers, but I was kind of running out of that CFE 223 stuff, and I shoot so much of it that I pulled the trigger. But man, I can't believe the price of primers that people are asking is ridiculous. I could have made a small fortune doing that. Uncle John, Quest is my dude, no homo. Okay, let's see here. What do you recommend an AR for woodchuck hunting is accurate enough to say three? Yeah, I mean AR-15 will be great. I mean, it does great for varmints. Yeah, I've taken plenty of coyotes at 400 yards with uh, a 223.
Oh yeah, the 223 is more than capable with an
Yep.
AR-15, especially if you throw a 20-inch decent barrel on it, with some hand-loaded ammo, or even if you just use like freaking Tula ammo.
Yeah.
You can get some unbelievable groups out of just a 20-inch barreled gun. If you just put a little bit of a bull barrel on it.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of those ARs you can get to shoot pretty dang well. You might get a flyer every now and then, but I mean most of the time they're pretty accurate and in extremely easy to change the barrel. That's what I love about them. Their
Yeah.
versatility. Yeah. Uncle Jim, it's time everything will be back. In time, everything will be back. Pay high prices and you screw us all. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree, John. Yep. My local gun store, they have 1,000 primers and they want $200 for them. I ain't paying that.
They can keep them.
Yeah, I mean, I've got well over 10,000, I think, large rifle right now, and even more of everything else. So I'm like, I'm good, but I can't believe it. To me that's greedy, and it's just I don't like it. So
Well,
yeah,
in fairness, their distributors are charging more as well. So it's like
yeah,
they're
but
not.
$200.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, because if they're selling them where you can get them around 100, then that means that they're making ridiculous amount of money off of
Yeah,
each box.
I mean Midway's $75 right now if you can find them without a hazmat. So I mean, like that's where I'm like $200. That's yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. They're trying to make some money. I'm sure they'll get some people on it, but I'm not one of them. So
I don't need them that bad.
nope, not yet at least.
Yeah.
I was watching a video on guys on how to remake them. That looks like way too much energy.
Oh, dude, that is ridiculous.
I
Did you
would pay the
see
$200
that?
at that point.
Yeah, I
It
was
ain't worth
like,
my
dude,
time.
yeah,
It's not
dude,
worth my time. I make
that's
way more.
horrible.
Yeah.
I think I would have better luck just going into like the tooth extraction business and professionally extract teeth with pairs of pliers. I'm
Right.
like, that would be more
Repo man.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just repo teeth.
Yeah.
Like, how many teeth you want today? I'm gonna pull all your teeth. Here
Yeah.
we go. So what do
Yeah.
you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Squatch? what does he put on here? He's got an ER.
Powder, just pay attention to Powder Valley. Go on and for squash, go on and put notifications for Powder Valley, Brownells, Graff and Sons, Everglades Ammo. I've been getting actually a lot of powder from Everglades Ammo. That's down there in Florida.
Yeah.
They got good deals on powder every now and then. Barrel for, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Squash, a barrel for what? AR-15? What are we talking about? Caliber 223. I just got a ballistic advantage barrel. I'm super excited to try that out. 20-inch DMR barrel for in 5.56. I'm excited for that. Otherwise, I've been a big arrow precision person. That's mainly what all my ARs are.
Yeah, that's a big local company for you right there.
Yep, yeah. They're pretty good quality too. I've been pretty impressed with their barrels too. Yeah, John. I think we're seeing the new normal for prices for reloading. I don't think we're gonna be $100 for primers. I think 75 will probably be the norm, but it's probably gonna be $35 a pound for powder from now on. I mean, everything's inflation, right? So that's what happens when you in the state we're in.
Yeah, when you give away a bunch of money to people that should have never been told to go home to begin with.
Right. I
That's
didn't
an
get any
entire.
time off. I'm
Yeah.
considered essential. I've been working my ass off for the last 2 years. Yeah. Want to learn how to change a barrel. Barrel for like what again? Squash on an AR-15. I really like how Savage has gone to their barrel nut for their bolt guns. Makes it so easy to change a barrel on a. I mean, just your average person can do it. You don't need to go to a gunsmith.
Oh yeah. The only problem with the barrel nut is it limits you on the size of barrel thickness that you
True.
can, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm dealing with. I'm gonna try and have Kenny cut the inside of my barrel nut out
Okay.
and make it bigger so that I can put a bigger barrel, like a 1-to-1 type barrel.
Okay.
We're gonna try that. Worst case scenario, we eat up a barrel nut, cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, I just ordered some parts today for that AR-15 build I was telling you about last night. I'm getting pretty excited for that.
He wants to learn how to change barrels. In what?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What is he trying to change barrels in? Like all different types of things, or
I don't know.
AR-15s?
It's super easy on AR-15. Eliminate the barrel nut. I got pictures of my clients' groups shooting a sub. Oh wow, orange. Wow. Okay.
What happened?
Oh, Eagle Eye saying eliminate the barrel nut. I got pictures of my clients' groups shooting a sub quarter-inch group. That's pretty good.
How do you keep the barrel on? How do you keep the barrel into the receiver?
I don't know. He'll have to tell us that. I guess unless it's threaded into the receiver, like most Remingtons. I mean, let's see here. I'd like to know more about this nutless Savage. Best upgrade is getting a .25 precision ground recoil lug. Okay.
What about Savage?
He said best upgrade is getting a .25 precision ground recoil lug. And then his next comment was just build a barrel shouldered like a typical bolt rifle with a good recoil lug. Oh yeah, Idaho, right? McDonald's is paying $16 an hour. I know, what a joke. Let's see. And Sasquatch, yes, have 223 and 16-inch stainless. Yeah, it's Sasquatch. If you're talking about just changing your barrel for your AR-15, it's just a matter of taking your handguard off and having the wrench for taking the nut off, and then the gas block. Okay, Kenny's gonna send a link for the barreled nutless Savage. I love that name.
The nutless Savage?
Let's see here. Is that 308? Is that your precision? Your Ruger Precision?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I want to try to put a better barrel on it because the barrel that's on there is just, in my opinion, for the price of that rifle, subpar.
I've got the Ruger American Go Wild in 300 Win Mag, and that thing's a tack driver. But for the price point, like you said, you think you'd get a really good barrel.
Well, at least something that shoots better than one MOA.
Yeah, that's rough.
Because, in all honesty, for an RPR, for a precision rifle, for shooting precision rifle matches, one MOA is enough. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, for the price that you spend for the rifle, it's like I can go and buy a Ruger American Predator and spend less than half and get a rifle that's more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So, who feels like the big? Ruger made me feel like an idiot. Thank God I only paid, $700 for that rifle, because had I paid full price for it, I would have been slapping myself in the mouth. I'd have been like,
yeah,
this
that's
rifle
like isn't that a $1,200 gun?
Yeah, it's a $1,200 gun.
Yeah.
MSRP is like $1,400 on that thing.
Yeah.
And that's for the short action. If
Yep.
you get like one of the ones that are made for long action, or God forbid the 338 Lapua, I think that's almost $2,000.
I think that's higher than that.
Is it?
I looked at those. I think you're almost $3,000 for one of them. Yeah. I maybe nowadays is like $3,000 because I was looking at getting one.
Yeah, that's just crazy money.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm spending that kind of money, I'm just going to go with a custom rifle.
Right.
I'll call Kenny and tell him, hey, order me this action, this barrel, this chassis. And then when you get all that together, put that bad bitch together, charge me whatever you throw it together, and then, send me that rifle after you make up a load for it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the brass I'm going to be using. Send him 100 pieces of brass and a couple boxes of bullets. Have him do it to it. And for all you folks out there that aren't aware of it, Kenny that I'm talking about is Eagle Eye Shooting, and he owns DP Gunworks and Desert Precision Gunworks. And basically, he's an FFL, and he builds custom rifles. So if any of you are looking for a custom rifle, go over to dpgunworks.com and check out what he's got to offer you. MCK, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Squatch, stay tuned. If you're not subbed to my channel, go sub to my channel. I'm doing a 20-inch AR build. And so if you're looking to go to a 20-inch barrel, you might be interested in watching some videos on it.
Yeah. If you're just wanting to swap a barrel for a AR-15, yeah, I definitely would recommend you go over and check out Quest. And if you have any issues, feel free to ask any of us guys. I've been building ARs for many years, and
Yep.
it can help you out, answer some questions for you if you have them. Eagle Eye Shooting is another good person to ask. Uncle Jim that was in here, I don't know if he still is. He's a good guy to ask. He's built many AR-15s, has a lot of knowledge with them. Basically, MCK, there's a lot of us in here that know quite a bit about AR-15s and how they go together and how to do it the right way. Change a barrel out.
Oh, there's Uncle John. Yeah, adjustable gas blocks are nice. Mainly though, if you're running a can. But I'm hearing for, like I was talking to you about the other night, with the Ballistic Advantage, I've been reading that it's hard to get them to cycle with that 20-inch barrel, and so that's the reason I went with that adjustable gas block. I'm hoping I don't have to drill it out, the gas port, but we'll see. HIPAA Savage, 12 FV limit, eliminate the barrel nut, and got a full contour empty. He shoots a 1-inch group. Holy crap, wow. Oh, that's the shooter too. That's a good shooter.
So what's he overlapping it so it's got a stop point so that it'll only screw so far in?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Kenny, I want to talk to you about that later.
I'm gonna have to. I think he said he has got a video on it, or did he not? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look for it.
When did you do this one, Kenny? Is this recent? Was this that 26-inch RPR you did for that one fella?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He says the key is snugging up a good barrel onto a precision ground recoil lug. I face off the front of the receiver. Yeah, that makes sense. We got 13 people in here right now.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Yeah, right on.
What's the time of your house? 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 10:18. Not bad. I gotta keep running on, checking on the kids, making sure they're still in bed.
Yeah.
One of them sneaky and likes to get a bunch of food and bring it into his room.
Yeah,
putting it under his pillow. Next thing I know,
sounds like me.
think about a 14.5 bolt pistol and 223. Yeah. Why do you want to go below a 16 for a 223? Just curious. Because I mean, like my opinion, longer the barrel, the better on a 223, so you can maintain that velocity. But I mean, I would go to a 300 blackout if I'm going to go with a shorter barrel myself. Uncle Jim, it's a cool room. Yeah, it's a cool room.
It's a what?
He said it's a cool room. We're talking about hanging out, 14 people in here. He goes, yeah, it's a cool room. Watching Moonshiners and found you guys up.
The show Moonshiners about the fellas that bootleg alcohol. Is that what he was watching
I think
on
so.
TV? Everybody is up on a Saturday looking for something to do.
All right.
Usually Uncle Jim has his chat still rolling.
What's going on, GGW reloading?
Hey, brother, what's going on, GGW?
Take it easy, Idaho.
Is Idaho taking off?
Yeah.
Take it easy, brother. Take care. Oh, look, Gun Websites is up. I think that's who's in the house. Yeah, G-Webs is in the house. What's going on, G-Webs? So, what do you think your next project was going to be? You said you wanted to do some ballistics testing.
Yeah. And so I've got a video that's gonna come out tomorrow. Kind of surprised. I got a new gun. So I got a video that's gonna come out tomorrow. So that'll be my next video. And then I'm gonna be going into basically building that AR-15. And then
Right.
I gotta find a way. Ballistic gel is so expensive. that I've made it myself a couple times, and so I'm thinking about just doing that again. And then I wanna go up in the hills and shoot them like we were talking about at distances. Because like you said, like who cares at 25 yards? Nobody freaking cares what a bullet does at 25 yards. I agree 100% with that. And so I think it'd be cool to shoot it at go shoot 50, 100, 150, 200, basically out to 400 yards and collect those bullets and show. So, but that's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah, I like that idea. I liked it a lot. So,
Yeah, it sounds like that'd be a good plan to work on.
yeah, I think it'd be interesting at least. But yeah, I'm excited to get that basically my DMR built for that AR-15. I'm thinking this gun's gonna shoot pretty well. I'm not going cheap on it, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited because I never ran a ballistic advantage barrel, so I'm excited to see how it works.
G-Webs went out and walked 4 miles. Did you take the puppy with you and get a little exercise?
Shoot a pumpkin at 500. Yeah, that'd be good. I'm not sure it'll retain the bullet, but maybe if I put it behind it, or I put a big jug of water or something behind it. We grow some big pumpkins here in Washington, so that should be pretty easy to hit.
Some big pumpkins, the pumpkin patch. That's that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We got some massive. My mother-in-law, she grew a 82-pound pumpkin this year. Freaking thing's huge.
You might need to a Barrett 50 for that.
Right.
Be like taking out. There's pumpkins coming in from everywhere.
Would you angle the gel at distance or leave it parallel to the ground? My thought is I would probably try to do it the same way as you're gonna take a game, an animal. So basically straight on, or if I that would be interesting to see too if I'm shooting up at an angle and it hits the gel different. That would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it definitely body angle is going to make a huge difference on
Yeah.
catching the bullet.
And I got a bunch of leather that I can throw over it, kind of to simulate a hide.
Skin, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. My main thing is I'd probably never shoot an animal at 500 yards, but I think I still may have to shoot a pumpkin at 500 yards now that now I want to shoot a pumpkin at 500 yards.
The 500 pumpkin patch.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any gel tests done at distance either.
Yeah, I'd wait to see what these bullets, a lot of these bullets that are supposed to be that are supposed to open up at slower speeds. I'd like
Yep.
to really see what some of these newer bullets design are really doing at these distances.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I got no shortage of hunting bullets. So I'm excited. I like the idea. Yodis get popped where I live at 500. Yeah, no, that's true. I will take a coyote. I was talking more deer. Yeah, I've taken a coyote at 900 yards. So yeah, coyotes coyotes are a different story, in my opinion. Coyotes, groundhogs, that kind of stuff. For me, I just won't take big game, anything past 400. Bullet will still be facing the same angle it leaves the barrel at.
Well, who said that?
Which one?
the bullet would be facing the same angle.
HIPAA.
Well, if you were firing from one, like say you were firing from a mountain,
Yep.
and you were firing across the valley
Mm-hmm.
into another mountain, and you're shooting 500 yards,
Yep.
that bullet is going to come out of your barrel with the bullet pointing the exact direction parallel with the barrel.
Yep.
But as it travels, it's going to start to go up because of your point of aim,
Yeah, the arc.
the arc, and then
Yep.
it's going to start. Well, actually, as soon as it comes out of the barrel, if the barrel is straight with the ground, it's going to start. It's going to start going forward straight for so many yards, and then it's going to start downward angling.
Correct. The thing is I mean, your gun's pretty much never going to be parallel with the ground, because especially if you're shooting distance,
Because it's going to be up.
Yep.
So you're going to
Exactly.
get an up trajectory with then a apex and then a downward trajectory.
Correct. Yeah. Trajectory.
So
Yes.
that's going to change
bullet
angle
nose
of
will be
that's
tipped up.
yeah it depending on where
It'll be
it
up or
hits.
down. Yeah, but it
Yeah.
just depends on the distance.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't eagle eye. Don't care if you blow a limb off. I'll watch it a bit and then its own leg and shoot another shot.
What is Eagle Eye saying?
Says, don't care if I blow a limb off. I'll watch it bite its own leg just for fun, then take another shot. Yeah, maybe a coyote or a wolf. Yeah, John. We're in the same state. Yeah, this state's pretty tough sometimes to live in.
So what's everybody doing out there?
I'm all done sizing, surprisingly. 5-gallon bucket done.
You did 5 gallons of brass?
Yeah, 40 cal.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was a productive night. And then tomorrow a bunch of kneeling for 30-06 and probably some loading. And then I got a range trip tomorrow for that new gun I got. So excited for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you'll be putting up some video tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be putting up a video of what I got. Maybe I'll give you a sneak peek. It's a Seiko 223.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not really nice bolt gun. I got a killer deal on it, basically an estate, and it's from 1962 and it's never been fired.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, this guy collected Seiko guns. He had over 100 of them. Yeah, all bolt guns, never been fired. Just collected them.
That's neat.
Yeah. So I bought one. Couple of my other two of my other buddies bought two, and I had one buddy bought like 9 of them, all 243 caliber. He's like, I'm gonna buy all the 243 ones you got. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, John, King County is horrible. I don't know how if that's where you live, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how you could live there. Oh man, Seattle area is just miserable. I lived in Redmond for a little bit, and I had to get back. I had to get back north up to the country. Pretty bad when you can't call someone a him or a her. So, King County might be different. Yeah, I'm up in Whatcom County, John. What G Dub? What are you casting for? Oh, that's a good question. I got a good question. What powder coat do you use? What powder coating do you use? 65 years, come kill me. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Seattle didn't used to be so bad though. It's changed a lot the last 20 years. Eastwood mostly. Okay. Got some new colors. Right on, right on.
Eastwood for the price seems to be pretty good.
For powder coating, yeah, it is.
Yeah, for certain colors. I've been told the Ford light blue or the Ford
Yeah.
blue.
I really like Columbia coating. I really like that powder coating. That's what I've been using, and
Right.
it's been working really well. And it's actually, I think it's so you get more of a discount the more you buy of it, right? But I
Right.
think it's like $13 a pound, which is pretty good deal for powder coating because it can go a long ways. And they got so many colors to choose from. But I tried the Eastwood powder blue, and I liked it. But I see the problem is I go through one color and I buy like 10 other different colors because I want to just keep trying a bunch of different colors. So
Right.
I did a bunch in like 40 cal, basically like neon green and red, like I call them the zombie bullets, and
Right.
those turned out pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to mix up all the colors and stuff. That seems like that would be, I
Mhm.
don't cast, but
Yeah,
I have few friends that do it and have sent me some bullets and they look pretty cool,
yeah,
all powder coated and done up with special colors and stuff. They're pretty damn neat.
yeah. I do for my 300 blackout. I do them all red, white, and blue.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Copper penny, navy blue, and trans. Oh, that grape one's probably pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, Columbia. Just Google it, and I think if you just put Columbia powder coating in on Google, and they'll come up. I really like it. They got all kinds of things. I mainly use their satin colors. The copper penny. That's probably a cool color.
Yeah, actually, I think I seen a guy using copper not too long ago, and it looked pretty cool. The actual bullets looked like they were copper. It was
Oh,
pretty
okay.
neat. Yeah.
Huh, I may have to try that out. And that copper penny, is that from Eastwood? G Dub? I might have to try some of that.
See what are they saying.
It's like a candy copper. Okay. I gained 20 subs from that stream last night, by the way. So thanks
Oh,
a
you
lot.
did?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no problem, brother.
I
Good.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm glad that you got some out of it.
Yeah, I know a few of my guys came over too, so hopefully you got some.
Yeah, I got a couple out of it. Yeah, it's
Cool.
always it's not really important to me. I'm just trying to help promote other channels and bring
Yeah,
us all together. So
yeah,
that's
right on.
where I'm trying to do.
I think little Jim and Walter started the copper penny thing. Okay.
So yeah, they were messing around. Let's see, with the Eastwood copper. So that's what it's called, copper pinning.
I may have to look that up real quick. I'm gonna do that actually real quick. Eastwood. That's where I buy all my welding gear from. So
yeah.
Oh, that's a cool color.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's about the same price too. That's not bad. $13.99. I think I'm a little cheaper at Columbia, but that's not bad. Oh no, it's $17.99 for a pound. So Columbia's cheaper. But that's 8 ounces. That's not bad. For 17, 18 bucks. That's not a bad price. A pound goes a long way. So.
Oh yeah, cool. That powder coat lasts forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna shut her down because it's going on 1:30 in the morning here.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I think I'm gonna crash, but I appreciate everyone. Let's go down the line here. Uncle John, GGW Reloading, HIPAA. Thank you, brother, for coming out. Let's see. Post a comment. Thank you for coming out, brother. I guess GGW's been hanging out for a while, and Uncle John, HIPAA, MCK, Eagle Eye Shooting. Hey, brother, if you are out and about, take it easy. All you guys, take it easy. And on that note, yeah, I'm going to say goodnight to everyone. And Quest, thanks for coming on and being part of the show tonight. And you're welcome back anytime, brother. If you want to say goodbye to everyone.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks everybody. It's nice talking with you, chatting with you. It's always nice to talk to fellow reloaders and gun enthusiasts. It's always a good time. So
yeah. So everyone have a good one and have a great weekend, and enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah. All right, man. Take it easy.
Take care, everyone.